Depending on how far we got yesterday, we're going to work through some of these slides. If we've already done them, then you can move on to the next slide and watch the next screencast. Remember that you have your elaboration transitions off in the margin here to help you. So we're using this illustration strategy to help us with descriptive writing as we describe the significance of allusions as we read them. So the first one is, tonight's situation made it a Sisyphean battle. That's the allusion. It was found in an article, and it's talking about a football game. So if I was going to give my evidence to explain it, I'd say the article describes the game by stating, tonight's situation made it a Sisyphean battle. Now I have to explain what's the connection. What is the actual allusion here? If the reader doesn't have the background knowledge to understand who Sisyphus is, he's not going to understand why this writer decided to say tonight's situation made it a Sisyphean battle. So Sisyphus was a king who angered Zeus in some way. And as punishment, his punishment was to, in the underworld, he had to push this big boulder up a hill. And right when he got to the top of the hill, it would crumble and roll back down. And then he'd have to start that whole process again. He'd roll it up to the top of the hill, and once it got there, it would roll back. And he just was forced throughout eternity to just keep pushing this boulder up a hill. And so the idea came to be known as a Sisyphean task, a task that's unending, a task that's really, really hard. To illustrate the difficult game, the author includes the allusion to Sisyphus, the man forced to push a boulder up a hill only for it to roll back down when it neared the top. Specifically, it's meant to show the constant ups and downs that the players experience during the game. So right now I want you to highlight in here which transitions does the author use to show a description. Instead of saying this shows or this evidence supports, there are some transitions to use. So go ahead and highlight those transitions. Now remember, off in the left here, you've got your list of transitions to illustrate, to demonstrate, to explain specifically in this situation, in this case, and including. So we're going to highlight to illustrate, and we're going to illustrate, go all the way to the end of the transition. We know that transitions are at the beginnings of sentences and they go up to the comma. So to illustrate the difficult game. And then I see another one, specifically, all the way up to the comma. So this is what this slide should look like. We use two different transitions to help explain our evidence and make the connection to the allusion. Okay. All right, after you have this slide done, you're going to go to the next slide, and there will be a new screencast that explains that one.